Welcome to The Firehouse, the show dedicated to the brave men and women who serve our community.
And welcome to The Firehouse on WRHU 88.7 FM. I am your host, Chris Moses, and today, sitting with me in the Firehouse is my boy, Robert J. Burke. Bobby Burke in the building. What's going on, brother?
Chris, thank you. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, thank you for coming down to the Firehouse. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to get into, right? But for which, I mean, I don't think anyone doesn't know you. But for the ones that I guess maybe just listening, especially the younger, they may not know or whatever, tell them who you are. Tell them what department you're in, what ranks you've held, and how long have you been in the volunteer services?
My name is Robert Burke. I'm a member of the Ocean Beach Fire Department.
And really quick, do you go by Bobby?
I go
or
by
Robert?
Bobby.
More
Yeah.
by Bobby. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Keep going.
The Ocean Beach Fire Rescue, Ocean Beach, New York, which is ostensibly Fire Island,
Yes.
and it's a barrier island. I've been in the fire service for 24 years. I've been an active captain for 14 years. I was lieutenant for 2 years, I think, and whatever the math is. From that, a firefighter for, I think it was 8 years or so. But yeah, it's still active.
And still active and still in there. So you're currently a captain right now, you saying?
Currently a captain.
Currently a captain. All right. So listen, you're a captain, lieutenant. I know we got some stories. We're going to get into some stories that you got. So think about some stories because I'm going to need some good stories. But let's start from the beginning, right? Because if listeners, if you didn't know, Bobby is also an actor and, an amazing actor and been in a lot of things. I'm pretty sure everyone knows him from Rescue Me, Law and Order. Let me give you a quick story because as I'm on my way here, right, I'm looking through stuff and I'm like looking up your bios and stuff. And I'm like on the TV doing it. My daughter walked in. She goes, "You're about to interview Captain Ed?" She's like, wait, and she's young. So she just started watching like Law and Order. She's like, "That's who you're going to have there? Can I come?" So it's hilarious.
Captain Ed. I'm bringing the stretcher in. Grandma's TIA, I think. Granddaughter. "It's Captain Ed." And Grandma goes, "What?" And he said, "Mom, it's Captain Ed." And the daughter says to me, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "Well, I'm with, And then I go over to Grandma, who was not doing well, but then she's like, "What are you doing here, Captain?" And I said, so that's when those two worlds cross over.
Like, how does that? And I know we're kind of going in and kind of going too far real quick, but I have to ask the question: how does that work? Right? You show up to someone's house. Like, if you showed up to my house, my daughter would say, "This is Captain Ed. What is Captain Ed doing here?" And how is Captain Ed going to help me right now?
It's just a matter of crossing over the two lives, my professional life, and it'd be the same thing as saying, "Hey, it's Jimmy the grocer," or Joey the auto mechanic. But in this country, it's celebrity is such a held up thing somehow. I don't know why, but so those two lives cross over. I'll go back to the fire service part of it. I had no intention of being a first responder.
Yeah.
When 9/11 happened, my best friend was a fire captain, Captain Patty Brown, Ladder 3.
Okay.
And he was the godfather of my youngest son. We were great friends. And when he fell on that day, it just kind of, shortened a long story, it became a good idea for me to join the volunteer fire service. Why should it always be those guys who I knew, for 20 years, 25 years, respected? Oh, good, had no idea what they did. Saw them drilling, even with Patty Brown. I sat at the table with him and great firemen from New York City, like the elite. No idea what they did. I know it's like you go in the building and you put water,
but
zero.
The extent of it,
Zero. And I'm a guy who, I played generals and this, and I would study and different roles, the background, the history to do it right. But firefighting, I played a lot of cops. I studied cops. I understand how to do, even open a door, stick your foot, every little aspect. Firefighting, zero. Wow. And then, you get out to the Suffolk County Fire Academy and you start training and you're like, whoa,
wow,
there's a lot to know.
And there's still more to know.
It's a learning culture. You're always learning. And that's one of the things that impresses me the most about the fire service is the learning culture, the learning aspect. heavy imposter syndrome.
Yes.
When I became a lieutenant, I was like so worried. And I'll just say, I never got really worried at a fire. But when I drive the ambulance, I start shaking. I don't know why. I always did. And because I don't want to screw it up.
Yeah. Someone's life, like right there. You never know what you're going to walk into.
You never know.
Never.
Fire Island. Oh, it's a place where people go on vacation. Oh, everything's no, they're calling you because they're not having a very good day.
That's right. When they see you, they're not having a good day.
And then, sometimes the tragedy or whatever's happening juxtaposed against the background of a beautiful place, paradise, makes it even more disconcerting. Yeah. But anyway, so that was my start in the fire service was because of 9/11.
So what makes you want to go into the, how do you even pick the department? Is it that's where you're?
Oh,
you
yeah,
live?
no.
So
if you're in that district, that's the department.
So that's where you are. So these things happen. Unfortunately, it's happened to your friend, and you say, I'm going to go into. I'm going to actually do this. I'm going to go in there and do this. So you pick you said you don't really pick the department. That's where you live.
Right.
You got to tell me, what's the first day like when you go up there to go join? People know who you are, so you pull up. Bobby Burke pulls up.
But they knew me before
they
that.
They already knew you. Okay,
yeah,
okay. But they still didn't know you as a person that's going to come over here and come
No,
volunteer.
they knew I took a clobbering with loss of friends.
Yeah.
So I think there was respect for what I did, how I conducted myself as a neighbor, as a member of the community, let's suppose. But your first day in the Ocean Beach Fire Department, if you've been voted in, is shucking corn.
Is it?
Yeah, that's your first duty.
Talk to me about it.
Well, I mean, it's just at the ball field. It's 4th of July, new membership. You're given a T-shirt. You're shucking corn, and it's a very humbling. It's like, oh, I'm shucking corn, okay. But there's an aspect to it that it's I don't know. It's like that's. And everybody's talking while they're shucking corn, So it's like, I thought it was going to be firefight.
Yeah.
But so they bring you up nice and slowly. And then in my day, 24 years ago, I had to bounce around to get all my classes. This department is offering, this department is offering.
I remember that.
And my wife is like, what are you doing? Like,
even essentials, now they do like the 2-week thing. When I did it was like 6 weeks this way and then 6 weeks that way.
Absolutely.
It's insane.
My wife was like,
what are you doing?
Where are you going tonight?
Talking about that, what does your wife say to you when you say, I'm going to actually do this?
She honored every moment.
And she was supportive every sec and said, I'm going to go ahead and go do this.
Yeah.
I love that. But let's just get back to just your first day there. So no one, obviously, there's no favoritism there. If you're like, just like, hey, you're another guy.
No, as an actor, you're a little bit exposed too. It's like, oh, let's see, actor boy.
So it's a little bit worse.
But everybody was very nice to me. I was 41 years old. I remember what was daunting to me was
when you started, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but when you started, 41 years old. So for our listeners and anyone that's thinking about joining and you're 41, you're 42, you can do this. Just to let you know.
Listen, one of my big preoccupations is, in the modern era, we're playing video games, we're watching, there's no way to be, give service, do service. There is a way. This is one of the ways. And how do I do that? Well, you knock on the fire department door, you call. Hi, I'm thinking about joining. What can you send me a video? Send me a link. There are ways, tangible ways to help your community.
That's right.
When the tones go off in our service, we don't ask what race, creed, color, gender, but we just go and help.
Just going. Yeah.
So there's a purity to it in the modern day that that's why it's so fulfilling to people to do it, to continue to do it. I've never met anybody in all of my years says, you know what, I wish I didn't do this. I wish I hadn't joined. Yeah. It's like, never. Okay. I mean, there's people who moan and everything, and I'm one of them. But I can the rest of them, but with the best of them. But no, it's a very fulfilling thing.
It is.
And when you get, no matter what type of person you are, you're going to find fulfillment in the fire. You can potentially find fulfillment in the fire service.
You find lifelong friends. That's what I always say.
Oh,
lifelong friends that you get, in the fire. It's nothing like going into a fire with someone, right? It's one thing, you have friends, you go here, you do concerts with your friends, but there's nothing like our friends where I'm going into a fire with this person. If that doesn't bond you, then what does, right?
Truly. I mean, experience is what bonds us. Memories make, memories and things like that. But and it's like the gamut of a relationship. The funny stuff. You're down, you can't breathe, you're laughing so hard, and then the next minute it's like terror.
Yeah.
So, and not that we get a lot of work. We don't get a lot of work. That can freak you out too.
Yeah.
I'm in my head a lot going, what if? Am I ready? I read a quote a couple of years ago. It said 99% of what's going to happen at your next fire has already been determined.
That's right.
That's very sobering.
Wow. I like that line.
It's great because it's true.
It's true.
Do we drill enough? Do we, right now we're in a kind of a lag place. We're a seasonal department.
Okay.
I think Glenn explained that.
Yep, he did. Okay, but keep going. Just for our listeners that don't know.
3/4 of our membership go back to their their primary domicile.
Okay.
Which is ostensibly New York City, but and then they come back out, when they open their houses and everything, and God bless them. Again, this is a place where they're coming to vacation and to relax, but they give their time and their effort. So it's a really, it's very powerful to me to see people who forego, relaxation and everything like this to serve their community.
To do that.
Yeah.
Wow. So let me ask you a question. Just in Glenn, we're talking about a guy named Glenn. That's a mutual friend of ours. He's from Ocean Beach as well. But he kind of went into it. But if you can kind of explain, like my questions for him one question was, how do you get mutual? Like, how do you get help? You're on an island. Like, what if you need people to come over? Like, how does that work?
On the South Shore of Long Island, West Islip, Bayshore, Islip, East Islip, they have boats.
So literally boating over people.
Yeah. There's also a contingency with the Fire Island ferries. We're going to muster here, tools, tanks, let's go. Many occasions we have called them. Many occasions you are, on the mainland where you have rigs and, mutual aid rolling in.
You don't have these things.
Well, lots of times I seen guys, on the knob. He's like, we got it, buddy. We don't say that because by the time they get there, we're beaten. And I ain't Hercules, pal. I'm like, yeah, you take it, bro. It's right. But they're fantastic because lots of times it's just overhaul for them and helping take up lines and stuff. And they're only too amenable to help you do that. Whereas I'd be like, I shouldn't say that, but like these young guys, young members, Bayshore, Islip, and everything, and they're just tearing the place apart. There's going to be no rekindle on their watch, and it's like my last good worker, a decent worker, was a taxpayer, and we stretched, we operated, and then here comes Chief Impolito with 5 savages behind him, and I'm like,
There we go.
So so it's great to see these guys. The further east we go, when we go down there for mutual, then we have Sayville coming across. We'll cover all that, in the winter when there's no departments down there, when there's no membership down there. You get up in the middle of the night and where we are, you can look out and see a massive orange glow, and you're like, that's going to take a while. Jobs that are called in by Suffolk County Aviation. It's like, whoa, that doesn't look so good. So, let's bang out some active departments, manned departments, and get them down there. And, by the time you get there, it's going to be somewhat of a multiple structure involvement.
Wow. All right, so we're going to be bouncing back and forth.
Sure.
I want to change gears a little bit just on the acting side, right? We kind of figured out that, you told us about, how you decided to be a firefighter and how that started. But how do you start to be an actor? Like, where does that come from, right?
That's tricky.
I mean, it's tricky, but it's not, because everyone's like, you see the movies, everyone thinks, I can do this, but then someone's like, acting is not for me, I can't act. What made you say, you know what, I want to do that? I want to be
At Ladder Suite, they're transforming emergency services with smart, easy-to-use software built by first responders for first responders. Their fully integrated CAD and RMS solution are designed around real-world operations because no two agencies are the same. That's why Ladder Suite is flexible, customizable, and built to fit your needs. Hosted on secure, redundant cloud services, their platform delivers reliability you can count on when it matters most. And with a dedicated support representative for every agency, they're with you from onboarding to daily operations. Ladder Suite, built for the mission. And if you head over to their Instagram, drop a comment and let them know that the Firehouse on WRHU 88.7 FM sent you.
I want to be an actor. Was that something your whole life you wanted to do?
No, I've never been able to answer that question. My parents came from Ireland. They settled in Washington Heights, Manhattan. My father was the super of the building. He was a laborer on the docks and in the refrigeration warehouses. We had nothing. I mean, there was like nothing, and I can tell you that straight. And then a member of our family said to my father, "You got to get out of here," so we moved to East Northport, where he became the custodian of a church, and a little house came with the church. So my whole upbringing was very modest. And like my father was like 6'4", 275. He was a big boy. And you're going to have to edit this. I said, I think I want to be an actor. And he goes, what? So anyway, I was in high school.
It's not real to him. He's like, what are you talking about?
There's no point of reference. He has no, like, he wanted me to be a policeman. We had hooks in the New York City Police Department, big hooks. And so that would have went very well. I was told, if you want to be a policeman, if you want to coop up somewhere, we'll do that for you too. You come with me.
Wow.
And I didn't, I went and did contracting. So I went to college for acting.
Okay.
I went to
so you went to college for acting. You were like, no matter what dad is saying, I'm going to do this.
Well, he said to me, can you train for that? I said, yeah. He goes, oh, okay.
All right.
I'll tell that story another time. But so anyway, I went to a place called SUNY Purchase.
Okay.
Tough to get into. Thousands and thousands of people auditioning to get in, and I got in. Wesley Snipes, Edie Falco, Stanley Tucci. I mean, there was some very heavy. Wesley was in my class for 4 years.
Wow.
And so I went there, and it's conservatory training, classical training, Shakespeare, Ibsen, Strindberg, Shaw, all the high stuff.
Yeah.
Movement, all these, speaking voice, this, that, the other. And then my father was very ill while I was there, and he passed away in my senior year. And then in my when I graduated, I was like, I could hear him in my head going, acting, and literally he said to me once, he goes, is that what a man does? And I was like, oh.
Wow.
So anyway, for 6 years, I went to work as a contractor, paint, plaster, bricks, you name it.
You're doing it.
I would do anything, if you needed it done. And then a buddy of mine called in 1988 rather, and said, I'm doing a short movie. You want to be in it? And I was like, yeah, okay.
And I guess he already knew you went to school for it.
We went to school together.
So he's like, okay, just do me a favor, just move over just a little
this
bit.
way?
Yeah, just that way, just a little. Perfect, yep.
We went to school together, he and I. And so I went and did this movie, and I remember I was doing a deck on the Bowery in Manhattan for a client. And the movie went to the Sundance Film Festival, Toronto Film Festival, and it was bought by a big company. And he calls me, goes, you're going on a press tour on a plane. And I was like, oh, yeah. And that was 36.
So what was your role in that movie?
I was the lead in the movie.
You were the lead in the movie.
Yeah, I played a guy who just got out of jail for something he didn't do. And you find that out in the movie.
As you go along.
It was called The Unbelievable Truth. And out of that movie, I got my next movie, Ramblin' Rose with Robert Duvall.
So let me ask you a question. I'm a very detailed person. So you do that movie. Do you now get an agent? Is that how that works? Like, how do you get that next call for that movie? Who do they even call?
For my first movie, I didn't have to have an agent because the director said, for my second movie, so that movie goes to the film festivals.
Yeah.
And the film festivals start looking around for it. You're like, who is that guy?
Who is that guy that did this?
And then I had, it was a agency called Triad.
They start knocking on the doors.
Which
like, hey.
became William Morris Agency. And so I had great agents right away.
Okay.
It was just a weird, supposed to happen, I suppose.
Yeah, just it was supposed to.
But back to your original question, how did I get into it? I took this class in high school, improvisation.
Okay.
I wasn't doing Guys and Dolls and all that with the school. I never did that because I couldn't sing. I can sing when I had a couple of drinks in me. But yeah, I really kind of liked that.
Yeah.
Doing it. And then my SATs were horrible. I mean, my guidance counselor said, can you read? I mean, and I tell you, I struggled as a student. I have a thing called dyscalculia, which is like you mix up numbers.
Yeah. Okay.
Like a dyslexic would mix up words.
Yeah.
I do that too. But the numbers were terrible.
Just
I couldn't.
all over the place.
Yeah. And so, and my sisters and my brother, they were all geniuses, it seemed to me. So, so academically, I was not very proficient. So that's why this, well, maybe the acting, So I went to college for it, and it was a very tough school in terms of training. They trained you to act to your point, like, oh, anybody could be an actor. No. It's not, right? No, you'll only go so far. It's like, Jimmy's a very funny, okay, let Jimmy try this. Or, there's only, your options are going to start to close very quickly.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then I took 6 years off. The guy calls me, he says, you want to do a movie? I said, okay. And that just led to the next.
Just kept going and just kept going. And it just never stopped. Well,
it's like the fire service. You show up, That's all. You want to join the fire service, show up for the first day.
That's right.
Just call the fire department, call somebody in the fire service.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, like it's a stereotype, but the long journey starts with the first step, and I remember the day I called this guy. His name was Corey Ward. He was a captain at the time on Fire Island, and I said, I think I'd like to join. And he said, okay, because he knew me. I wasn't like waffling.
Yeah,
I'm going in. And he was a great guy. He trained in Seido karate, and I trained in a different style. So we trained together. Like lots of times, he knew what type of person I was.
Okay.
If I said I was going to show up to train, I was going to show up to train. And he was my sponsor going into the department, because you had to have somebody sponsor you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it worked out. And then, the training, I loved the training at Suffolk County Fire Academy, and then these subsequent places we had to go. Some of the technical stuff presented a challenge, back to the numbers and everything. Yep. Still to this day, they pushed me, stuffed me through this engine operations class. Pump operations.
And you're like, pump operations, and now you got to do friction loss, and you're like,
the friction coefficient.
5 pounds for this and this and
I'm
that.
not that guy, and especially
the kind of guys. Hey guys, is it too much or is it not?
Yeah,
you're good. Okay,
yeah. You want more?
You want more?
But I'm not that guy that you want at that panel.
Not you. I'm going inside. I'm going in.
Yeah, I'll do 100 other things. Yeah. But you see now.
And it's intense. A lot of people don't realize how it's more intense being outside. I remember my first job that I pumped, it was more intense pumping for these guys than me just going in, because I know my job when I go in.
The heart rate of the pump operations guy, your chauffeur, is higher than anybody.
You're worried. You're like, wait, am I
if you have a conscience, and if you have any, if you're.
Yeah, these guys, and especially which most, I know a lot of departments are, my guys are going in there. You secure the water source. Go ahead, do what you got to do. But I'm taking this line and I'm tank water in there. That's
I also know we're aging out with this, that. You gotta know how to do everything. But and I respect it. If I could operate, if I thought I could operate, because part of it is I told myself I can't do it, and that I'm not good at it, and so I'm really trying to push through that, because I understand this need is great. And we got guys, going to put water on the fire. We got to get the water first. And I'm going to continue to try and push myself to become proficient at pumping.
Yeah, that's good.
And I said it here in public.
You said it, and now we got it. We got it recorded. All right, so let's switch some gears. Let's get back to that fire. Just what stories do you got for me, Bobby? Do you have any good stories of anything that went on? There in Ocean Beach, Fire Island, like what's going on?
I don't have great stories. I really don't. I have.
All right, so let's talk about your first fire. Everyone remembers that.
Oh yeah,
everyone knows that.
Specifically remember, which is not a bad story. It's blowing out the residential structure, balloon frame. Nobody's home. I pull up and I meet the chief of police, and he says everybody's out of the house, and I was like, "Are you sure?" And he said, "Yeah." And I had never had the knob up to that point. I think I was 7 months in.
Okay. So let's stop. I'm very detailed.
Yeah.
You pull up to the house, blowing out of every corner.
No, not every corner. Just let me see, the 1-4.
1-4 corner.
3 windows.
All right. So you see
first floor.
What is going through your mind at this moment? You are an actor. You're doing this. You're like, all right, I'm in the fire department. I'm in. but I ain't went to a fire yet. Now it gets real. What's in your brain?
Well,
What's going on?
the first thing was the most dangerous place on this fire ground right now is between me and that knob. Okay, and so I stretch. I have the knob, and I'm at the door, and this is true, and I tell the story because it is true, and I've told the story before. There's a chief out there to give us a seminar. His name is Chief Billy Goldfeder.
Okay.
And he's standing at the front of the rig, and he's watching. And I'm like, it's that, I was only in the fire service for 8 months, but I knew who he was. And I was like, hey, Chief. And he goes, hey, how you doing? And I'm flaking out and everything. And I said, little performance pressure, huh? He goes, oh, I'll get out of here. I said, no, you're good. And we get to the door, and I do this rookie, I pull my tether this way instead of this way, and
back,
snap one of the rubber on the face piece. I take it
You're
off.
at the door when this happens?
I say to this guy, I said, give me a face piece. He goes, well, I said, give me a face piece. He does. Hook up, back, down, and down the hall we go. And we operate for, 3 to 5 to 7 minutes. Knock the first room, second room, third room, second room. And then I can't get any air.
Yeah.
And I try to get out of the mask, and I tap my guy behind me. I say, I gotta pop off.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah. And I get outside, and I'm like, the mask isn't giving me any air. And I was telling this to a city guy. He goes, oh, you had a malfunction. I said, and what? He goes, a malfunction in the mask. I said, do they do that? And he goes, oh, yeah.
It's got to pop that thing for you to breathe.
Well, it wasn't popping. The regulator wasn't letting go. And this is the moment when I need more air than at any other moment, because I've just operated. And I remember going, note to self, the mask can malfunction. But it was a good fire. We did only what we were taught to do, and we had to be low because it was awfully, the hallway was very narrow, and there was a good bit of fire, above us. And I was going to not wet down smoke. I was going to get to that seat because I knew where I could see. And so we operated just like we were trained, and everything went okay, and that was that.
And that was that.
Yeah.
That's that first fire.
That first fire, got it out of the way.
Get that out of the way, and then it rolls down. Then you're all good. So now let me ask a question about operations, because you said you drive the ambulance, right?
Yes.
You just drive it, but you're not.
I don't do patient care.
EMT or anything like that. Have you ever seen anything good with that? I mean, I can imagine you're on Fire Island. People will come in here. They're having a good time. Sometimes too much of a good time.
We've seen shark bites. We've seen boat accidents.
Shark bites. I got to know about that.
Well, I mean, there was a member whose uncle got bit in the ass like a couple of summers ago.
Wow.
There was we get toned out for shark bite, and it's like 100 feet from where I live, from my house. And I'm like, and then there's another one. So it's it's a shark biting somebody. You get
does that happen often on Fire Island?
No, it's kind of a weird thing.
In the heart of Blue Point, New York, the Johnny Mac Foundation stands as a beacon of hope and resilience. Founded in memory of FDNY firefighter John F. McNamara, who lost his life to 9/11 related cancer, this foundation embodies his enduring motto, whatever it takes. To supporting first responders and their families, the Johnny Mac Foundation is committed to making a long-lasting impact. Join us in honoring John's legacy and making a difference. Visit at johnnymacfoundation.org to learn more and contribute.
No, it's kind of a weird thing. It's only
the sharks don't come that close. I was always told that they don't.
They've always been out there. Now we have drones. We see them, and it's a strange thing. It's commensurate with the bait. Where's the bait? There's going to be the shark. So only in the past couple of years have they been really coming in and bothering people. But that's where they live. So you're in their home. But the thing about Fire Island is you have to get to it quick, because everything out there is just like a pack of matches that can burn so quickly. It's all wood.
I can imagine. They're putting these houses up so quick. So it's that,
and they're getting bigger.
Light with truss, balloon.
The trusses, the gussets, everything is just putty, crap,
matchsticks,
glue,
matchsticks.
It's just unbelievable.
Yep.
And so you got to get to it quick.
Yeah.
If you don't get to it quick, there's going to be 2 or 3 or 4 of them. I remember one of my first multiple structures, and I thought, oh my God, how is this going to go out? And I turn and like there's 5 of the older guys, and they're all taking a piss. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Because it's like, that's not going anywhere.
Yeah, we've seen
There's plenty of fire for everybody. And when we go
multiple houses, multiple houses. One
3,
goes,
4.
the next one, boom, boom, boom.
It's 8 miles to our east, let's say, and there's nobody down there, and they've been going for a half an hour or an hour. And you get down there and you just try and do the best you can. It's almost like a nightmare. Okay, so Queens, residential structure. Okay, a couple of engines, all hands maybe, and 70 guys out on the street, and that crew is in there. Oh, they got red. Where we are, there's like 3 or 4 going. There's nobody. It's like, where did Joe go? Oh, Joe went on that line. Okay. But now you're operating in sand, and it's like the dream starts getting bad, and your arms are cramping up, and you say, oh, John, get in that house up there to the 2nd floor, open it up, bring a camera, knock that down, and then come back to me, please. So you're giving him an assignment that normally the next dude would have, but it's like a nightmare sometimes when it goes. That's what freaks me out. We have a community now that the standpipes are wrong, they're compromised, they're broken, and I'm like, how am I going to get down there? How am I going to get down there? This is all my preoccupation these days. I'll stretch supply, I'll portable hydrants, these types of things, banging my head against the wall. How am I going to get this done?
Yeah.
So anyway, but so your audience are fire people.
Yes.
Then I'm preaching to the choir. If you're listening to Robert Burke, Mickey Gavin, Ed Tucker, Gossip Girl, Bart Bass, he's talking about the fire service. Take this recording and say, hey, listen, look at this guy. He's doing it. I used to say a dopey actor. If I can do it, you can do it. But
that's one of the main reasons, that also having you on the show. Thank you for coming. But
not
it's
at all.
that because of who you are and what you've done, especially, that will pull people in.
I would hope
that will pull people in.
It's so funny.
I'm hoping too.
Well, because
it's a different generation, Bobby.
It is a different generation.
Whole different generation.
And God bless them. there was a time you and me and him, we get a room for $300, rent it. Everything is so expensive now. It's very hard. I just got this job. You want me to break away from it and go
and take a chance of getting hurt and not being able to go to go to my job to pay for my?
There's been times when I come into a movie set or a television set in New York and people are like, what do you have, a fireplace at home? Like, you stink. Like, there were times I've often said, you get toned out at 1 o'clock in the morning, you get back at 4, 5 in the morning, you get to the city and no sleep. And I say, somebody ain't getting their money's worth out of me the next day. You go and do the acting thing. But I've often been very grateful that I got to see this part of life and service. It's been very therapeutic for me.
And once it's in you, it's in you. Like there's no backing out now. It's
don't see things.
You see things.
You see things differently.
Totally different.
You're driving around. He's like, "What's that propane?" Whatever. You definitely see things differently. And you would hope others do. We're about to do the 10th annual Denis Leary Firefighter Challenge at the FDNY.
When is it?
May 1st.
Okay.
Corporate people come in, $50,000, and my executives are going to, push the line and blah, 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 which is great. This is why we do it. I don't know what the prices are, but you got to pay to.
Yeah.
And they have more skin in the game. They're not just there writing it. Denis Leary says, I can take anybody's money. He says, let's let them, bust up a car and pull ceilings and rappel and,
let them feel it.
Then they really get some skin in the game. And people love it. It's 10 years now. We're going to be celebrating women in the fire service this year, and just entirely successful. He's a guy I can't say enough about.
Denis Leary.
Yeah.
Okay.
His cousin, Jeremiah Lucy, and his best friend were lost in the Worcester Cold Storage Fire, 1999. He starts a foundation. What can he do? That foundation is still going. He never got mission fatigue. As a matter of fact, not only did he not get fatigue, after 9/11, everybody's like pulls away, and he just keeps up in the ante.
Kept going. He wanted more,
but not keeps up in the ante, and the amount of material he bought and equipment, and then he's what's the word? Generous enough to he wasn't like, this is my foundation. He brings in the Joseph DiBernardo Foundation.
Okay.
So they're going to be like the shock troops. You can buy people equipment and stuff like this, but now DiBernardo, they're going to train you up on it. So they have a complementary relationship with the DiBernardo Foundation and the Denis Leary Foundation. And guys, honest to God, guys are going home. Members are going home because of these types of trainings. We always hear like, oh, LODD, this guy fell in the line of duty, this guy fell. But we don't hear about the people who go home because you kind of don't know who they could be. I'm telling you, for a fact, members are going home because of this type of training and because of this type of commitment. And here he is. He's an actor. He's a comedian.
And he's doing the work. He's doing the work. All right, so I got some more questions.
Yep.
We're going to play a game, but we're not going to get into that game yet. All right, we got a little game that we're going to play. But before we get into the game, I got a question. If there was one common myth that you'd want to debunk about firefighting right now, what would that be? So we've heard things like we don't get cats out of trees. We've heard a ton of things. So what do you think? One common myth that you'd want to debunk about firefighting?
You see, here's another thing. Anything I say to you about the fire service is not original. Okay? I've never come up with an idea in my life. Everything, I'm just passing it along.
Yeah.
My best friend, Patty Brown, used to say, you know, you can do this job 100% right and still get killed.
Yeah.
So there's a humility there. There's a highly decorated guy, Vietnam veteran, karate black belt, Golden Gloves boxer, very proficient guy. He's the guy who's going to come for you.
Yeah.
Other firemen, great firemen have said that. He also said, don't kid yourself with the medals. He goes, there's plenty of firemen on this job who never won a medal. He said, Bobby, who will be better firemen than I was ever. So, you know, to think you're Hercules, to think you know it all, that's a myth. Oh, Jimmy's like a...
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Anything
so there's a humility in that, knowing that I can do this 100% right and still get killed. 9/11. These guys are the bravest men I ever knew in my life. So that to me is a myth to debunk. And how much, you know, should you train for a job that can kill you? Well, you should train as much as you
like
can.
Your life depends on
like
it, because it does.
And your brother's life.
Yeah.
And the citizens, you know, yours, your brother, and the citizens. So how much can you train for that type of commitment? But anyway, to think that you're impervious, to think that you're Superman, that's a myth.
That's the myth.
You put the gear on, this, that, you know, always understand that, you know, Mr. Murphy can show up and bust your ass. So, you know, one of the things I always did before we entered is I always don't take a last look. You know, literally, I don't care.
Sure.
Take a little last look. Okay,
look around.
Go. Like,
let's go.
And it's not like, I don't know why I always do that. It's because things can change so quickly.
Yeah.
You know,
even with doing that last look, things can
even
change.
with doing that last
at
look,
any moment.
always,
at any moment.
You know,
be
cognizant.
Size up
your
starts
hearing.
from when that call comes over. Size up.
No.
Even before that.
We say at Fire Island, size up begins the minute you open your eyes in the morning.
There you go. I like that.
You got to know which way the wind is coming, because where you lay in.
It's one of those viral lines.
Absolutely. Where you lay in. Okay, so now you've laid in on Cottage Walk. There's nobody coming past you. There's no other rig. There's no other apparatus going to pass you, because when you open the door to your rig, you might be hitting Joe, you know, this person's fence and that person's. You're so boxed.
You got to
so
know this.
Where you lay in, you're going to live and die by that positioning. And, you know, your second due, your third due, same thing. So where is the most advantageous place you can possibly lay in? And sometimes it's nowhere near. You know, guys, they pull right up on the box, and it's like, geez, you know,
what are you doing,
like, because they kind of want to watch while they're doing some paperwork. It drives me nuts. You know, can you pull up another?
Yeah,
we're here. We're here. It's like, no, we're not here.
You're not.
You're here. So myths. I think the myth of being Superman.
That's it. That's the myth.
Yeah,
you're not.
You're not. And
walk around with the Firehouse muscles, we call them.
Yeah, and also it's a learning culture.
That's right.
You know, you never know everything. The guy who walks around like he does know everything, he's going to get you killed.
That's right.
So is always learning. You know, it's one thing I look back on in my 24 years, and I could have pushed more for different certifications. And, you know, my life, my job, last year I was in London, 14 trips, it's like, so I missed, fire officer class. It's like, And 3 times I tried to take CFR. CFR, Jesus Christ. You're going to Mexico. You're going to, I was in the class once and I had the mask on because it was COVID. We're getting up to airways and the guy looks at me and goes, "Not you again." So he could tell who it was. But I don't think at this point in my career I'm going to get to administer any care, which...
It's all right. I mean, you're still doing it. You're still a captain. You're still active. So you're still doing
absolutely.
And giving and doing everything like that. All right. So you know what we can get into, Bobby? We can get into a game that we call the flashover. All right. So we have a game here that we call the flashover, and I'll ask you 2 things. I'll ask you something like Android or Apple. You got to give me the answer pretty quick. Okay. We'll do a bunch of kind of fire stuff. We're going to do some movies and some TV shows. I already know the answer of some of yours, and we're going to get into that as well. But are you ready for the flashover?
Yeah, man.
Bobby, you ready for the flashover? All right. So let's get into the flashover. Okay, you are at a parade, Bobby, right?
A parade?
A parade. At a parade. Do you drive the rig or you drive the chief truck? Which one?
Rig.
Rig? Driving the rig? Okay, same parade. Do you drive that rig or walk with the guys?
Walk with the guys.
Walk with the guys. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
100-degree heat. You still walking with the guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Still in there with the guys. I love it. I love it. All right. Now, this is another one. Same parade. Over here, you pull up. The chief says, listen, they're over there doing a calendar photo shoot. Or do you want to walk with these guys 100 degrees? You doing a calendar photo shoot or you walking?
I have no point of reference for either of these. I'm walking with the guys.
You're walking with the guys either way, no matter what. Okay, so let's go. Keep going. Which you probably do have over there. Brush fires or rockin' dumpster fire. Which one? You got to pick one. You going for the brush fire? Why are we going for the brush fire?
It's tougher. It's going to present more challenge.
Okay.
Dumpster, you're just sitting there waiting for,
That's it. Just for it to just dump it, put copious amounts of water. Is that what they say? Copious amounts of water. All right. Let's keep going. Basement fire or warehouse fire?
Well, we don't have basements, and I've never been to a warehouse.
Yeah, you know what? You don't, right?
We have a couple of them, but we don't have. We have crawl spaces, areas under houses now that are being lifted, and that's where they're putting all their contents. So usually there's a nice breeze under the house too. So God forbid that there's any oxygen-starved element under there. There won't be.
It won't be.
It's going to be going.
It's going to be going. All right, let's keep going. A confirmed car fire or automatic alarm with a light smoke condition?
Automatic light.
Why are you doing that?
More of a challenge.
More of a challenge. Knowing like, hey, this could turn to something as well.
Right.
This could definitely. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's see. What else do I got for you? All right. Which one is better? The 5 a.m. in the morning call or the midnight call? If you have to pick, which one do you like better? Midnight? You rather midnight? Why? Especially in Fire Island, midnight, you're going to get some crazy things going on Fire Island sometimes. But why midnight versus the 5 a.m.?
Gives you a lot more time to, for your excuse the next day.
For your excuse the next day.
Man, I ain't coming.
I've been fighting fire all night, buddy.
5 a.m., early morning hours. It's always, I don't know. Because midnight, potentially, I haven't gone to sleep yet.
You might be still up.
Yeah.
Like, just keep going and keep moving.
I kind of stopped playing. You never know when it's going to go. That's the thing, too.
Yeah.
I would pass on to a newcomer. It's like, you never know. You least expect it.
That's when it happens. All right, let's keep going. Summer heat in gear or winter cold in wet boots? Pick your punishment. Summer heat in gear or winter cold wet boots? Pick your punishment.
That's a tough one.
Which one? We got to pick one.
I go with the summer heat.
Summer heat. That's what we're doing in gear?
I've never been cold in the winter, though. I tell you, one time I had a fever.
Okay.
103 fever. I was coming from the airport, got banged out, went right to the firehouse, got in. So we're operating, everything was cold, December. And I remember my gear got just soaking. I was up in an attic like this, with the light just getting completely drenched. And I was shaking with the fever, and I put my gear away, and we got banged out for a rekindle the next morning. And I went to the firehouse still with the fever and putting on cold gear. And I was
just like,
that's hard.
This is not
don't
good.
feel good. But I remember that specifically.
Let me ask a question just to veer off really quick. Fever, like you get sick. As an actor, they have all these things. They have the set. They have this. How do you, as the lead, just say, I got a fever, I can't come? There is none of that. I always wonder that. Like, you're still a human being.
I could show you 10 movies 10 scenes. See that scene there? I got 103 fever in that scene. See that scene there? I got the fucking bubonic plague. I mean, nobody wants to hear it.
Yeah, like you're still a human, so you still gotta
don't mention it. If you're one of the big boys, they're gonna shut down. They're gonna do something else. They're gonna have what's called cover set. We're gonna go to cover. I was supposed to shoot a scene out in the beautiful sunny day. It's raining like hell. We're gonna go to the cover set, and inside. If you're one of the big boys, they're going to have a cover for you. But if you're Bobby Burke, you're taking Sudafed, you're taking and you're showing up, you're like, and it's happening. Make it happen. I was doing a scene once for a special victims unit, and in the middle of the scene, everything just went like this, dark. And I was like, oh, that's
this is not good.
Yeah, dosed sick.
Wow. But there's no stopping. It's just
keep it to yourself.
Move through it and let's keep going. All right.
A Spike Lee film, not to drop
no,
called
please.
Black Klansman, and I remember I hadn't been sick in 4 years, and it comes my day for my heavy, and I was like, just completely. And that's one of the films where I'm leaning over a table and you look at my eyes, it's like
you could see. Now I got to go look.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. In the middle of our flashover game, we play a game called Suspended or Not. I'm going to give you a couple of things. You tell me suspended or not.
I suspend everybody.
Yeah. All right, and you're a captain, so I usually give this to like captains, chiefs, or anything like that. And just really quick, are you thinking ever going to chief or just keeping captain?
I'll be line officer for my days.
For your days.
No.
Why?
Affinity, because I like the guys. I don't like politics.
You don't like the politics. I don't blame you. You don't even have to say anymore. I fully understand.
Yeah. And you know what? The chiefs I have now,
they're amazing.
I would lay my life down for them. Every single one of them. George Hess, Peter Brennan, Drew Becker, and Jim Wicks. Just top-notch guys.
Okay.
It's just top notch. I can't even, it took a couple of years to get it like that.
Yeah.
But I'm just so happy with these guys. It's not even funny.
It's not even. I love it. All right. So suspended or not. Okay. You ready? Mm-hmm. At a call, you're the captain. All out fist fight, 2 members, suspended or not.
Suspended.
Gotta go.
Absolutely.
Gotta go. All right. No, that's good. All right. Let's keep going. You pull up to the firehouse, right? You got the entire front window of the firehouse busted out. 2 guys, pike poles playing Jedi, suspended or not.
Absolutely. And they're paying for the window.
And they're paying for the window. All right, let's go. We're on a call, right? You're on a call. You're the captain. You have a disagreement with the chauffeur, right? Nothing like the fist fight. You have a little bit of a disagreement. Call is now over. You're walking past the rig. Bang! He lays on the horn. Suspended or not.
That's not going to happen to me.
He's just not going to do it.
That's not going to happen.
He's not going to do it.
Not in my world.
Not in your world.
No, I don't think, there's no member who would.
That would do that.
Yeah, and if he did, I'd be like, really?
Dude, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's.
All right. Last one.
Mm-hmm.
At a call, as you know, sometimes officers like to pull up right in front of the house and not leave the front of the house for us sometimes, not all the time. Your chauffeur gets on the mic and says, "Move your thing car." Suspended or not.
Wouldn't happen to me. But anything unbecoming a member, they're going to get discussed. We have that all the time.
Yeah.
There's a delicacy here because not only are we aging and short-staffed like everybody else, but we're seasonal. 3/4 of these guys go away for 6-7 months.
Wow. So
when they come back, it's not like you can hammer them for every little thing. You do have to talk to them. And
you can't fight at a call, guy.
There's an awful lot of talking that has to be done sometimes, like with members. I've seen members who are very, 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 obstinate and just become like really smoothed out people.
Yeah.
Because they needed somebody to listen to them, understand their grievances, which were real.
Yeah.
A lot of the grievances are not made up. I had grievances for 10 years. It was just outlandish.
Yeah.
I'm getting up in the middle of the night. I'm thinking about this guy. I'm like, and I'm like, why am I, so it wasn't manufactured in my head. What was manufactured was the way I was dealing with it.
Yeah.
And I would talk, there's 1 or 2 people that I can talk to.
Yeah.
It's convenient that they're 30 and 31 now. But I try my best. I think everybody tries their best. But the suspension, I mean, there's very clear-cut stuff. We represent an organization.
Yeah.
There's a wonderful saying. It says, the fire services represents one of the last bastions of good in this country. one of us represents all of us. Act accordingly.
That's right.
And when I wear, when I represent my department, I am very cognizant of professionalism in my business as a professional actor. I mean, I'm in a union. There's things you do and things you do not do.
You cannot do. Yeah.
So my generation have been very cognizant of that type of behavior. The new generation, not so much. Everything's a lot of informal, but there's a cut and dry way to do things. And, operationally, hey, why don't you try it the way you were trained?
That's right.
And as a professional off the fire ground, same thing in terms of respect to the officers and the other members. So yeah, I mean, we've had our share of suspensions. I've been suspended.
Have you?
Oh yeah,
I gotta know.
Twice.
What'd you do? Twice.
We had an
What'd you do?
AFA. I get down to the AFA. I'm all turned down. AFA. Get down to the AFA. Third day. The same place. The third time, I'm sorry, same AFA.
Okay. So wait, third time suspension?
No, third time banged out.
Banged out
over the course of 3 days.
It just keeps going. Okay.
And so the rig goes. I have a quad. I don't suit up. I go down there with quad because I know it's head number 27.
You already know exactly what it is.
I go down there. Somebody says Burke wasn't in gear.
So what do they do? How do they elongate suspend you for something like that?
And then the weird thing is there's only 4 guys there in the department actively responding, and you just suspended one of them. Okay. And I could get
We're gonna
very
get into all of it, but it's just like, what are you doing?
And then I forget what else I was suspended for.
Hey, listen, take off some time without pay. Hey, you'll be all right. Take off a
Think
little time
about what
pay.
you've done. I remember once I got a letter of reprimand for freelancing at the most horrifying fire I've ever been to. And I was the only fireman who checked in every 10 minutes, who I was with, where I was with, and what I was trying to achieve with the operation. Every 15 minutes I checked in.
Wow.
And because I think the person who suspended me didn't really understand what freelancing was.
Yeah.
I knew that I set up over here. 2 of my members did not. I got a radio transmission. They didn't want any part of where we were.
Yeah.
And so you were freelancing.
You were freelancing.
You're a bad guy. I tell you.
How long are these suspensions? A month? 30 days?
I think that was 2 weeks or something like that.
2 weeks. All right. So nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So let's keep going with the flashover. We're
I
going to
can't
get
believe
into
I
some.
said that. You might have to take that
we
one
might
out.
have to take that one out. All right. Let's get into some, this is probably going to be a fun part right here. Our game, the flashover. Let's get into some movies and TV shows.
Okay.
All right. I think I already know the first one I'm going to ask you what you're going to give me, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So are you ready?
Sure. But...
Chicago Fire, Rescue Me. Which one?
Oh, Rescue Me.
Rescue Me all the way, right? Okay, let's go. Chicago Fire, Third Watch. I'm not even going to ask Rescue Me because I know it's always going to be Rescue Me.
Never watched either.
Never watched either of them.
No. Very rarely watched Rescue Me.
Never even. So we're going to get to that because I got to ask some more questions about Rescue Me. Okay.
Yeah.
Backdraft, Ladder 49.
And I haven't seen either of them.
You never seen either of them?
Nope.
You gotta watch that. I want you to watch. I would love to know what you think.
I have
about
so many guys
Backdraft.
I knew in Ladder 49, which I never saw.
Yeah.
I've seen pieces of Backdraft.
Okay.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's like
very, very well. A lot of people Backdraft. They love Backdraft, but people like Ladder 49 is a little bit more serious.
Chicago Fire, the commercial. It could be like a pumpkin factory. It's gonna blow. It doesn't matter what it is. It's gonna blow. It's always gonna blow.
Through fires, you could see everything. That's not real.
The one thing that used to, and I had a chief from the city, big chief, call me and said, "Hey,
for over 50 years, Fire News has been the preferred publication for fire, rescue, and EMS heroes. Fire News print edition reaches Long Island, 17 states, and the District of Columbia. Visit firenews.com to see the latest news, read their digital prints, or follow them on Facebook and Instagram pages. In print, online, on social media, Fire News has you covered. Visit firenews.com. And if you go ahead and go visit on Instagram, please leave a comment and tell them that WRHU 88.7 The Firehouse sent you.
Call me and said, "Hey, on Rescue Me, can you have them button up?" Because guys like, and I was like, that's a big pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
I mean, if I see any of your skin, I'm going to come for you. because I don't want to tell your father or mother, oh, Joe burnt his hand because I didn't. Mask, hood. I'm a button-up guy. Hottest day of the summer, I want your hood up.
All of that. You know what my pet peeve is? One of my biggest pet peeves that I've seen is the guys, you put your SCBA on, you got the waist straps hanging.
It's a New York City thing.
You think it looks good, but you're
cool.
killing your shoulders.
Not only
so
are you
now
killing
when
your
you're ready
shoulders,
to work, like
if I got to pull your big fat ass out of there,
how am I going to do this
Yeah.
if I can't now hook you up? Because that's like one of my biggest pet peeves. Is
9
seeing
times
those
out of
waist
10,
straps.
the guys who are hanging like that are the guys who are telling you how to do everything.
It's like, dude,
bro,
come on, man.
do it the right way.
That
There's a
weight
reason.
should be on your waist. That's what. That's what it's there for.
I don't mind it at this age. Anything that can alleviate
help.
but the straps banging around, you're gonna get caught up.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. But
people
guys
like to,
But I'm telling you,
look.
You can ask about me. I'll say, could you both look that up, please?
Yeah.
I'll always be polite and professional about it, but I'm going to come for you.
Let them know.
Yeah.
And I'm only helping you. All right. So last question I'm going to ask today for this game, the flashover. And I feel the most important question here, and I'm wondering what you're going to say. Engine or truck?
We don't have truck operations.
You don't have truck
We don't have
operations.
trucks. We have engines.
That's it.
Now then, we have no stick to put to a building. We're going to throw ladders. If you're second due, your task is going to probably be a truck assignment, opening up vests, what have you. If you're third due, you might be writ. But essentially, we have engines.
Okay. But what for you, like, which I'm pretty sure
like
you've done all operations.
Yeah.
So is there one that you like, I like the engine more. I like that engine operations versus more truck operations. There's guys that like,
I love getting a knockdown.
So the engine part.
That's a rush. That's the
part.
rush. I mean, if I'm open, I went through a couple of saws on like a petrified roof one time. I'm like, this sucks. Give me another saw. And the saw was literally, I mean, it was like, what is this? He goes, oh, this roof was put down in 1926. And I'm like, it's like rocks. I like having a crack at everything, pulling ceilings, whatever. We had a fire once where they dedicated the first line improperly. We rededicated it into the front door. We find the fire. It's under the stairs. It's been burning for a while. And I look at the walls, and the walls are all like, it looked like a gas glow because it's burning up. And so we're putting everything down. I said, let's pull these ceilings as we go. So we're pulling the ceilings, and we go upstairs. We have good stairs. It's burning upstairs. Let's knock that down. And I remember turning around, and there's another set of staircase at 3 stories. And so we're doing truck work as we go, opening up, and no rekindle. I mean, we got a good knockdown on that fire, but it was a strange fire. They went into the back, and cameras up. Everything's melted. But there's no fire. And I was like, there's no fire. We can't get into the front of the house. It was strange. I went back the next day. I was like, who lives here? Like goblins or something? I mean, these little staircases there. So
what is going on?
Yeah. And then there's other fires where you're just trying to bring as much water to bear.
And just get it
exposure.
All right. So not engine, not truck.
Yeah. Both. No, I like the knob.
You like the knob. So we're going engine. We're going engine with it. We're going engine with it. I've had truck guys say, if you give me the nozzle every time, then yes, I like engine.
Yeah, but you're not getting it every time.
But you're not getting it every time. So
I just like to make sure too, like I love giving the new guy the nozzle and making sure, watching him to see how he, he's not fighting himself, get it out in front of you a little more, and maybe holding the camera out in front of him. And these types of scenarios are mostly going to be happening in training at the academy, where you do have a simulated fire condition. However, but when, you're training in a ball field, you're training on a street somewhere, I think Glenn even spoke to the fact that where can we train without bothering the public?
Yeah, because everyone's there to vacation. Yeah. So it's like...
but we have our places.
You have your places of where to go.
And then talking about it, fires are loud, fires are this, the shit hits the fan right away, listen to your boss. In the fire service for the new person, you're going to start to develop an intuitive muscle, and let that intuition begin the first day. Like, who do you think is going to keep you alive? Who's going to come for you if anything ever happens?
Great.
Let that intuition build. And of course, keep your mouth shut. If you have a good idea at your first fire, you don't. It's like, don't say nothing. Just do what you're told. And and even that's a new kind of prospect for this generation, because everybody, I think this, it's like,
dude, keep it quiet and listen. That's it. Keep those ears open and listen. I do got a quick question before we get out of the flashover game is, if you had a choice, you pull up to the scene and the chief says, you're going to go down the hallway with this salty old vet or the new young rookie. Which one are you taking?
I would like the new kid.
You taking the new kid?
Yeah. And depending on who he is, I'll know his strengths and I'll know his weaknesses. And then hopefully he'll surprise me. And I love when that happens. You know, when somebody does the right thing, I'm gonna let you know, and I'm gonna let you know for a couple of years. You know, that just to build on that confidence, because that's somebody did that to me. You know, I remember the first time I jumped in compressions. You know, it was, shit, I know compressions.
It's a lot.
30 minutes in an attic. It must have been over 100 degrees. This guy's been dead for a while.
but you're still doing the compressions.
Not on my,
you're going to keep going.
I'm 0 for 4 now. But yeah, just so reinforce the newcomer. You know, that's how I think we do it. Because that was done to me. You know, and there wasn't somebody pissing on my leg either. It was something, good. Whatever it was, taking the dog, good stretch. The stretch is everything for me.
That's right.
And
so get that going.
Yeah. Eyeballing something and just absolutely knowing how to get it done.
And how to get it done. All right, so I want to jump back over really quick. I got 2 more questions for you when it comes to firefighting, but I want to ask some questions about just acting, right? Got a couple of questions. How do you get into Rescue Me? Like, how did that call come? How did that happen, that whole scenario? Like, where does that come in?
So Denis knew me. I knew Denis. Denis knew my best friend, Patty Brown, as a fireman. And Denis was very fire cognizant and fire centric because of the Worcester Cold Storage Fire. I'm coaching third base, Little League. My phone rings. I got the old Motorola. Hello. And it's the agent. He says, hey, Denis Leary wants you to do this show. It's called Rescue Me. And I was like, oh, yeah? He says, yeah. He goes, you're going to be playing his cousin. I said, oh, yeah? Yeah, Irish family firefighters. Yeah, that's great. He goes, you're going to be a priest. And I said, nah. And so anyway, I talked to Denis, and he goes, yeah, you're going to be a priest, but he goes, not like you're going to be a drinker and a fighter, and you're going to leave the priesthood and everything. I was like, okay, no funny business.
Don't play with me.
So yeah, it became like the family consigliere in a way. Mickey Gavin, and it was a lot of fun. We had an awful lot of. Listen, Lenny Clark, Adam Ferrara, John Skirty, all these actors who were on the show, we'd show up in the morning and they'd make me laugh so hard that I couldn't breathe. And now it's time to do the acting. And
now you're like,
they were very funny guys.
Yeah.
I noticed there was a thing with comedians as a point of pride. They don't laugh at each other's jokes. Somebody'd say something, I'm like, I can't. I mean, I'm throwing up.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But they would be like, oh yeah, they were just fun guys to be around. And I thought the show, I had a problem with the show a lot of the times with the material. I thought it was a little too risque or a little too irreverent, a little too. Sometimes I thought it was disrespectful, but then again, the good that came out of it. Denis, I like to go down command posts for the FDNY, a high-rise simulator for the FDNY.
See, I did a lot of training, I imagine, for that show, like training with the FDNY.
Those guys, well, there was a consultant on the show who was an old friend of mine. His name was Terry Quinn. He was a truck guy from 22 Truck on 100th Street, Manhattan. And he would tell them, I remember one time I said, hey, can you get the guys to button up? He goes, they had the Halligans made out of balsa wood. They don't want to carry nothing. So, actors can be funny like that. And we're shooting in New York. It's very hot. They're wearing bunker gear. And they're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, that's the job,
That's the job. That's what it is.
So the acting part, I forgot your initial.
No, I was just saying how you got into Rescue Me. You
kind
of explained it. Yeah, you got the call.
We call that an offer.
Okay.
Denis calls and he offers the role.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to audition. You have to read the lines and the scenes, and then they call you back and you read them again, and then they call you back again. You read for all the producers. So that was just a gimme.
That was just,
And I was very grateful. To this day, I'm grateful to him
for that.
He he's opened up so much in my life. And again, it's therapeutic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my friend passed away so many years ago, and we're still trying to get things done and carry the flag in their memory. And that gives your life meaning. You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
Why do you get out of bed, Burke? You know, it's like, well, to help him. You know, that makes me feel good and makes me feel calm and at peace at the end of the day. And then the next day we're going to do it again. So
Over and over.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. How about Law and Order? How do you get into that? My daughter would kill me if I didn't ask you this question.
Law and Order was interesting. I remember, the Mothership, Law and Order. Okay,
Yeah.
that was the first one.
Yeah.
So I played 3 different characters in that. You know, I'd audition.
Yeah.
You're gonna. But then I remember Special Victims Unit.
Yeah.
They called me in. No, we don't see it. Then they called me in for a new role. No,
Still
and I'm like, I remember once it was to play this drunk, tough Irish detective. Blah blah blah. No,
Yeah.
and I was like, whoa, you know. And then finally, what they said was, "Oh, we're going to keep you for something better." And I was like, "Yeah, right."
Yeah.
You know,
you
that
just
and a
is
cup
blowing
of coffee.
smoke up my
Yeah.
ass right now.
Then they called. They said, "Listen, we'd like you to play the internal affairs guy." And the more I thought about it, and the more I read it, as an actor, well, as this actor, to play the bad guy, to play the guy who comes in and rattles the cage, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. To play the good guy, hello, Joe. It was like boring.
It's
So I would go in there, and here's Chris Maloney, here's Mariska Hargitay, and they're formidable actors.
Yeah.
I mean, formidable. They're wonderful people. I can't even say enough for what kind of people they are.
Yeah.
But as actors, they'll just chew you up and spit you. And that's why they're there for 25 years.
They know.
So when you go in and you have this push and pull with these actors in the scenes and stuff like that, it was a lot of fun. And it pushed me as an actor. You had to go in there and be prepared because it's it's a network show. They have a tight schedule. We have 2 hours to do this scene. Now, if you start screwing your lines up, no good.
You're wasting time.
Costs money.
And
guess
wasting
what?
money.
You're not going to come back.
Yeah. Wow.
So I was fortunate enough. I think I did about 30 episodes over the year. I became her boyfriend on the show, which was bizarre.
Yeah.
I said, I'm the most hated guy on the show. How's that going?
How does that work? But it worked.
Yeah, it worked
worked
somehow.
It did definitely work.
But I love her. She has a wonderful foundation, the Joyful Heart Foundation.
Okay.
You know, here she is. She's playing a detective, Special Victims Unit, sexual abuse victims.
Yeah.
The first season, she gets 100 letters. The second season, she gets 1,000, then 10,000, then 40,000. And now she's like, I got to
do something. I got to do something.
And she did. She's very formidable foundation work that she does. So those are the types of actors I like to align myself with, people who are actually just pinching themselves. Like, how did I get here?
Yeah. Wow.
You know, and let me give back because I have a platform where I can, you know, like Denis. And not only does he do his foundation, but he does the Cam Neely Foundation. Comics come home. All these comics go up to Boston every year. It's like huge. It's this big event. The top comics, and they raise money for Dana-Farber cancer, cancer research ostensibly.
Yeah.
But it's great. And again, I can't believe that I got to do this in my life.
In my head that I didn't ask you about RoboCop.
Oh,
because RoboCop was so long ago, there's no CGI, there's no this, there's no that. You have to put on all of this stuff. I gotta ask about that. How was that? This is what? What year is this? When was RoboCop?
My one was the third one.
Yeah.
And I shot that in 1992.
That's 90s, right? Yeah. So there's no
30-something years ago.
CGI. There's no
nothing. There was blue screen.
But you got to put this stuff on.
So for those 6 years I took off from acting, I was a mason. I did plastering paint. And I know what a 80-pound bag of Portland cement is. It's etched in my soul. And they put the costume. I said, whoa, you know, because it's on these straps. They attach the arm, they attach the arm, they attach this, they attach, and everything is like, it's like our packs, right? And I said, how much is this? They said like 60, 65 pounds. I'm like,
nah, buddy.
And then when you have the pack on, you have to do this to get the whole thing. If you stand like that, Robo don't look so good.
Yeah,
he has to be like this
like
all
a
the
robot.
time. So now you have 60, 70 pounds pulling you.
It's rough.
We're shooting at a hospital one day, and I see this scale, and I'm completely suited up. I stand on the scale. I'm doing math, which I'm not good at. I'm like, this thing is 90 pounds. So anyway, and then they had a jetpack and a gun arm, a Calico 47 submachine gun, and that brought it up to 147 pounds. The fact of the matter was RoboCop couldn't do anything. I had to carry Karen Allen, the actress, down the aisle of a church one night. And I'm looking in like, well, they'll probably put a strap on her. And
then
her.
you could do that.
And
they're like, no, you're going to carry her.
Here she is. The arms of the suit come out this far. You can't do this. You can't do this. You have to be just here. They won't go. And I was like, now you're going to insult her if you can't carry her. So, am I too fat? Like, and I remember I was like, I trained in karate we'd always talk about locking up your latissimus, like it's sanchin, it's a, and I was like, thank God I did that.
Because that helped out.
This guy, Leo Murphy, put her in my arms like this, and I had to walk down the aisle slowly, like it was effortless. And I got to the end, I was like, like this. So I did that take 3 times without like embarrassing her or insulting her.
Wow.
But yeah, to your point.
Yeah, I had to ask because I'm like, yo, I know it's not
there were
what
guys,
it was before.
It was like the Civil War. The guys who were my stuntmen, they dressed in the costume, boom, and there's like, oh, he's not getting up. And then, here comes the stretcher, and they'd like take him out. My first night, a lot
different.
Speaking of fire, my first night, I hit this command post with this spray. He has a flamethrower, Robo does. Yep. And some of the spray hits the console here and bounces back at me. I'm supposed to be spraying that map or whatever it was. And the effects guy hits the igniter and I go up in flames. And this part of my face here got all burned, blistered. Wow. I didn't shave for a week. I mean, and that was my first night on Robo.
How do you even keep going with the movie? I mean, I guess makeup.
Well,
now they have to make
it. Yeah, they put. It's like you're
just
nowadays. Yeah. Like, hello. I'd be on the phone with my lawyers. Yeah. That was my 3rd movie.
Wow. Then
one night, there's 5 guys on ladders. They got these things called zirconium bullets. They're like paintballs, but when they hit you, they're gonna make a spark. So like CGI.
Yeah.
No CGI.
There's no CGI.
Watch
we have
this.
to make it look like a shot.
So these guys think, screw it. He's in armor.
He'll be fine.
Unload on him. And what happens is the bullets start bouncing off the chest plate and going up my nose. And I'm like, then there's a piece here. You see it. It looks like abs. It looks like robot abs.
Okay.
But it was plastic that was like this thin. And one guy's just like lacing me there. And I was like, so I fold like a chair. I say, stop, oh shit. Like, and they're like, you all right? I'm like, no.
No, I'm not okay. You're shooting me.
I take the stuff off. I'm completely welted. And then another time they put the leg on me and the legs would snap in and the legs, I would hand the leg to somebody who was visiting me, a friend, and he's like, are you kidding me?
You were wearing this thing?
They snapped the leg on, and I remember I turned like this, and a piece of the inside of the costume, which was fiberglass and reinforced steel, and it sent a shiv into my thigh. I was like, what's that? It was like this long, it was like a nail. And it's like 4 inches into my thigh, and they're like, I said, I gotta stop.
I gotta stop.
We don't even know how to take it off. Pull. I'm like, don't pull.
Yeah.
And finally somebody figured it out. He said that came away because we looked at the other leg.
Yeah.
And we slid it out. And I was like, I mean.
And they just patch you up and you next day, let's keep going.
Then I got from the compression on my spine, I got a bulbous mass on my tailbone, which if it leaked, I was going to get meningitis, spinal meningitis. And I was like, I said to the dude who was driving me, I'm just going on here.
Chris, that's real acting.
Chris
this
Nielsen,
is not what
I looked at him after like my 4th day and I said, dude, I don't think I can do this.
He's doing this thing.
Killing me. But,
that's dope. Yeah. I had to ask about that.
It was the deep end of the pool.
Yeah.
My 3rd film, so I learned a lot. I learned about effects. I learned how to get hurt. I learned how to not. When a stunt man leans into you, a stunt coordinator, and he says, you're going to feel a little pop, but you're going to be fine. You will be. But if he says that same sentence and he leans backwards, you're going to feel a little bit, but you'll be fine.
But you
won't.
You won't be fine.
Conrad Palmisano, I think he passed away. And he came up and he was all, his legs crippled. And I was like, he goes, yeah, but my face is good. I'm like, Oh my God.
Dude, I don't want
So
to
yeah,
be able to walk.
I'm very gun conscious, safe on a set.
Yeah.
I'm known for that. You know, to a point where it's distracting. A couple of guys on the movie Tombstone were like, "Oh, come on, what's the problem?" And I was like, "He's pointing his gun at me. Oh, come on." I call cut every time.
Yeah.
And then finally, the other actor kept pointing his gun at me, so I pointed mine at him, and I fire first. So he's like, "Whoa,
Okay.
whoa!" I said, "You don't like it so much now."
Yeah.
The wattage can blind you. It can burn you.
I didn't even think about.
Yeah, the wattage can blow your head off.
Yeah.
But and we had full loads, 11,000 rounds expended over the course of 12 days that we were shooting the shootout at the OK Corral. It's a dangerous business.
Yeah,
It can
no
be
joke.
dangerous. So you have to conduct yourself, very safely. They have safety meetings now.
It's a lot different, I
Yeah.
can imagine, from what it
the old
was
days.
to,
It's like,
to
get
from
up there.
Let's just get it going.
Okay. But it's a good point. It's a good
I
point.
had to bring that up.
Yeah,
But,
it's like the fire
you did.
service. You
Yeah.
just show up.
and you just do your job.
Show up,
Talking
you do
about the
your
fire
job.
service, I guess hopping back into that.
Mhm.
Being it's 24 years, you said, right?
24 years.
years. So in a whole, how has being a volunteer firefighter changed your life? Like in a whole?
Listen, this thing becomes a part of your body.
That's it. So you don't use the app. You're not the app. You
I
like
got the app. I got the
it all.
schmap. I got the whole. The thing about
Got
the older
group
guys,
needs and all that.
the older guys, we were just complaining about it yesterday. You didn't check the app? No, is that tomorrow? We don't check the app. We're waiting for
Waiting for that thing to go off.
and then they did put out a text. Hey, check the app.
Check the app. They give you more info.
So there's a redundancy, obviously.
Yeah.
I was able to, on my phone, listen to that call with Glenn
Which
was
is-
on just
yeah.
now. And, I listened to his thing here. I don't think, did he mention that he was in the military during wartime for 4 years?
he didn't.
Oh, yeah, he was in the Navy. I was like, dude.
He
I was
didn't
like,
mention that at all.
I missed that, yeah. Deployed and
Got
everything.
to get him back on here.
I
and
remember
speak a
when
little
he
bit
was
more on that.
when he was going off, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Wow, good luck and everything." And at one point, I think we had 80 members in the department. He was the only one who wore the uniform
Wow.
for the United States
Wow.
military. And he was a chief at one time, one of the assistant chiefs. I think someday he'll be a great, a chief again, and maybe the head of the department. But he's a DNA guy. You know what I mean? His father, his mother.
Everybody was in that.
Now that
it's in his blood.
And he always somehow fills the job that is okay. This needs to be done. Let's do that.
Yep.
Bring us over from regular PCRs to the electronics, and which was not easy.
Yeah.
And
he had that
he's
foresight to look
right.
to say,
He's
hey.
head of rescue now for us, and I always was impressed. He was very young, and he was a great instructor. For the new guys, and then the lifeguarding. He's not a pond lifeguard or a pool lifeguard or a lake.
That's
ocean.
what he talked about.
But Ocean Beach.
Yeah.
That ocean.
That guy will go in there and go grab you.
But that's not, I'm like saying, that's not
Not
like,
a pool.
that's not a pool.
It's
That's
an ocean.
That is a fierce ocean. And those
he'll go
guys
out
are
there,
like,
and he knows how to rescue swimming.
they're phenomenal dudes. And, yeah, so I can't say enough of him. I've always admired his service and the way he conducts himself.
That's my boy, man. I
Yeah.
love me some
Oh,
Glenn,
absolutely.
man.
If you're gonna
Shirtless
pick
Glenn,
somebody,
we called him Shirtless Glenn. He always had his shirt off.
oh, did he?
Always. When you see him next time, then tell him Shirtless Glenn.
Because
This guy would walk around no shirt all the time.
He grew up
Glenn
on the
is always
beach.
naked.
Well, my kids went to school in the city. They said, your kids don't wear shoes. I'm like, oh, they don't wear shoes. And, it's like, well, they have to wear shoes. So I think it might be a product of having grown up out
The
there.
way he
maybe.
grew up.
Yeah.
All right. So last question that I want to ask you, Bobby, is if there's someone that's listening right now, they just joined or they're thinking about joining, what type of advice would you want to give them?
Advice. There's a difference between advice and a suggestion.
There you go.
I make suggestions and, give it time, understand, not everybody's good at everything. Don't let the school work and the classroom work freak you out. Just chill out. 41 years old, I joined. I don't want to be incompetent at 41 years old. I want to know my shit. And when I went to the academy, I was like, I don't really understand that, so give yourself time, align yourself with winners, with guys and gals who want to be in the firehouse, who are nice people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Johnny over there is miserable. Stay away from Johnny. Don't
even go over there.
Align yourself with people who you admire, and and then you try your best and you show up, and things are not going to go perfect. So while you're advancing your service and your actions, don't worry about the feelings part of it too much. Because
the politics, we call it.
Yeah,
get out of the politics.
Absolutely, and there's a ton of it.
There's a ton of the
crazy.
politics.
It's like I remember my friend Patty Brown on the FDNY. I was like, this job is like the mafia. It's like it's going to get stabbed, and this guy hates me. This guy really hates me. So there's so much of that. So align yourself with the winners and the people who are happy doing the service. It's hard enough without somebody sticking a knife in your back, and that's going to come.
That's right.
I found that out. It's like, oh, look at this guy.
He's an actor. He thinks he's this. He thinks he's that.
And you know what?
Dude.
That's fine. But I know what my motives are.
Yeah, you know what you're here
I've
for.
always known. Mm-hmm. So, I would say to the new person, give yourself time and take it easy. But you have to show up. You have to
do it.
I don't care what you think, you say, you feel. I'm going to watch your actions, and the first action is going through the doors of your house or your company and suiting up and getting on the rig. That must be done. Yeah. And then you worry about everything else in life later, let's say. And never, always put your family first too. Yeah. We've all gotten up from the table and, my wife,
Christmas,
she's going for an operation. We've been waiting 8 months, but we get toned out.
Hold on. I'll drop you in the front. I gotta go.
Oh, that happened last week. I've been waiting 6 months. I was like, hold on a minute. They got it. Okay, we're going. But just give yourself time, and then give the time. You're involved in something that's been going on for a long time. And break off your piece of it.
Right.
You're not going to get to the engine. You're not going to get to do everything maybe, but just take it easy, and listen to the older people, the more experienced people, and the happy people, the people who enjoy what they're doing. I think that's might be a good suggestion.
Quick question.
Yeah.
If there's someone listening that lives in Flower Island or is going there or whatever, how do you join? How do you join?
Well, you grab
Ocean
somebody with
Beach?
the T-shirt or a hat, and you say, "Hey, I'm interested in joining." And I think we've changed our bylaws now, whereas it became very convenient to have everybody join on the same day, July 4th, and put them in that day. Their paperwork, their
everything,
their physical, their application, their sponsorship. Now we've opened the books. It's like, hey, if I grab you, I'm gonna,
sign them up.
Yeah. We gotta. I mean, we've been trying to get a recruitment thing going. We're trying to get a very modest juniors thing going.
Okay.
We're all cognizant of these programs everywhere, but it's just, we get it going up, everybody goes back to the city. You know what I mean? It's very, very, very difficult.
I can imagine.
To gauge people's level of training and commitment. But if you're in Fire Island and you want to join the fire department or the rescue aspect, we really want you. We don't need you somehow, but we do want you to come. And, you're going to meet nice people. These are good people. That person's a little crazy, that person, but they're good people fundamentally. And in this day and age, I think there's so much separating us that the fire department is a very pure place that unites people. And we're the United States. We're supposed to be, continue to unite. And I think the fire service is really one of the last places I can think where these types of things happen for a pure reason. We're not even getting paid. Yeah. But there is payment. There's very, very, very big payment. The type of payment you can't count.
That's right. So true. So true. All right. Listen, am I forgetting anything? Before we get out of here, is there anything that I'm forgetting?
I used to talk
Anyone
to
my
mother on the phone, and we talk, and she'd say, "Did we leave anybody out?" I'm like, "No, Ma, we covered everything." No, man, that was very nice to meet you, Chris.
Yes,
and
thank you, man.
To be a part, and to hopefully this, it's one of those things like this guy. Yeah, I've seen this guy on this show and this show, and
hopefully they'll say if he can do this.
Yeah.
But listen, Bobby, man, thank you so much.
Not at all.
Thank you so much for coming down to the Firehouse.
It's always an honor to,
I
talking about myself is a big pain in the ass, but promoting the fire service to anybody who's listening.
To get them down here.
Not because I say it or you say it. It's because, listen, if you do walk through those doors or pick up the phone and make that phone call, I've never met anybody in 24 years. I wish I didn't become.
Never. No matter what happens, no matter the politics we talked about, no matter it.
People leave people, but you know what?
Doesn't matter. It's in your heart.
It's
going to
be.
there.
You're going to be fulfilled in
You'll
a way that no drug, no alcohol, no sport,
nothing.
It's going to fulfill you in another because it's tangible.
Yeah.
They're
and the
calling
lifelong friends.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for me. The friends that you get from this, these lifelong friends. I have friends that are my best friends from here, right? So it's amazing. So hopefully people will listen, watch the show, and come on down.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks,
Listen,
Chris.
thank you
All
so
right,
much, Bobby, for coming down to the Firehouse. All right. So we just heard from my boy, Bobby Burke, Robert J. Burke, and he is in Ocean Beach. That is Fire Island Fire Department. All right. So Ocean Beach Fire Department. And we learned about his life as a firefighter, all his stories. I hope you all enjoyed this conversation. Please like, share, subscribe, do all of these things. I am your host, Chris Moses, and please tune in next week to another great conversation in the Firehouse.